The Walking Dead is a game played by adults and contains subject matter intended for a mature audience. This game explores themes and situations that may be uncomfortable or upsetting to some viewers. Our players have discussed their zones of comfort at length and have safety tools at their disposal. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Superior Adventures Guild. My name is Dave, your humble host for a very interesting new game that we're about to launch ourselves into, The Walking Dead, and why we gave him control. Kurt, the game master, who will be leading this crazy adventure. I'm super excited to be back playing with these great people. And you guys, heads up, this is for a great cause. We are in the midst of a 12-day fundraising TTRPG Mega Stream event for Games for Love. Now, Games for Love is a fantastic nonprofit who brings the joy and hope that's associated with games to children who are experiencing extended stay situations in hospitals. So as we all know, in our own lives, games bring us distraction and joy and laughter and tears and experiences that we cherish. It's even more amplified for children who are having to deal with some really heavy stuff in their lives. Games can bring them a little bit of an escape from that and bring them some happiness and joy. So we're incredibly thrilled to be part of this TTRPG Mega Stream with our good friend over at Phoenix Iwaki. John has been just a fantastic person to work with as he and I have put together this event. We have something like 17 games, something like 8 or 9 GMs involved. There are 55 players that are involved across the 2 channels and the 17 streams that we have going on. I'm going to just quickly drop the schedule up onto the screen for folks to get an idea of what's going on. Of course, today it's November 4th. We had our one-shot roulette this morning over on Phoenix channel, and now we're doing some Walking Dead. Tonight, we will be diving into a new Varden one-shot with Dungeon Mr. Ty and a great crew of people, Candace the Magnificent, Kay Damfier, Alex from Initiative Order, and myself. And there's a bunch of great games next week that we'll talk more about as we get farther in, deeper into this amazing fundraising event. Now, we're at $900 as of this morning, as of right now. And I have no doubt in my mind that we can get well over the quarter of the way mark. So, folks, there are going to be a lot of opportunities for you to essentially support this amazing cause. I'm going to drop a little bit of information about Games for Love into the chat. We do have a link there for you to go and make some donations. There are some in-game donations that I'm going to tell you a little bit about right now as I bop on over to our screen that allows me to show those things. You can help us out as survivors in this Walking Dead universe by donating advantages, by donating useful items or loaded firearms, or you can give us medical supplies. You can also throw hindrances and challenges in front of us, because Kurt was like, let's include that. And I was like, okay, isn't it going to be hard enough already as it is? But just so you know, $100 donation results in a walker drop, which is sure to be very fun and thrilling and terrifying for the players. But yes, these are the ways that you can get involved. Interestingly enough, for every $5 that you donate to the Games for Love charity here, and the link is in the chat for you, there will be an opportunity for you to win. So it's basically like getting a raffle ticket. And at the end of the stream, we're going to be giving away a couple of fantastic gifts, some prizes. These are a digital content from CZ RPG, a long-term sponsor of our Heroes of Greyhawk campaign. Also, Hero Forge has donated a acrylic standee. So if you create a Hero Forge character that you really like, they will print and ship it to you. And they're absolutely fantastic little standees. And they have also donated, Hero Forge, a 3D printed plastic mini, also including shipping. So some great prizes that we will give away at the end of the stream. In order to be entered to win, all you have to do is donate some money to this cause, and it is a cause that helps children. So it's the Games for Love fundraising event. Thank you all for being here. There is a link in the chat right now for the donation. Go on over, check it out. We appreciate you very much. I think that's all that I really wanted to say. I hope folks will get involved with that. And Kurt, I'm going to pass it over to you, my friend.
Standing.
Let's do this.
Now that Dave's said his piece, it's time for me to say my piece. He's got to get into character. He's not running this. I am. So, that being said, friends, welcome to The Walking Dead. First and foremost, our disclaimer, right? Before we go around. Everybody here who is sitting at this table is aware of the themes and nature of The Walking Dead. Walking Dead tells rich, deep interpersonal stories with the backdrop of an apocalyptic event across the world. Betrayal, heartbreak, and absolute cruelty are staples of the Walking Dead universe. Everybody here is aware of that. Everybody here knows that. Some of the things may be a little too much for people. Some things may not. So with that, viewer discretion is advised. Past that, we're going to go around and we're going to introduce everybody real quick, and we're going to say who they are, where we can find them, and who they are playing today. Well, for the next 4 episodes anyway. We'll see how long they last. We will start with to my virtual left, Bleak.
Is this why you had us make 4 characters?
No.
Oh. Well, now
No. We're doing true Walking Dead fashion. When you die, you just go be amongst the walkers, and then you just
Do I get a spinoff?
Only if you survive, and only if your character is really, really, really well liked and not part of canon.
It's about the ratings, Bleak. You got to get good ratings first.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get
all
your
about
spin-off.
the ratings. All
and
right,
a good agent.
Let me work on that. I am the Bleak Season. You can find me everywhere at the Bleak Season. Check out my website, bleakseasongaming.com. You can find me right here, usually on Thursdays, running stuff. I'll be running a couple of games for this wonderful charity. On Thursday with Dragonbane Game, and on Saturday with some Blade Runner. And this is a absolutely wonderful charity, and there's nothing I like best than to be able to help kids. So I think we all get up in the morning and we get to choose whether we want to help kids or be cruel to kids, and it's always so much better to choose to help kids. And the other people, well, we don't need them. They are walkers. I am playing for you tonight McCready, a former soldier. McCready has a couple of connections in this group, but mostly he plays Shiv's character's sort of right-hand man. He's very dedicated to Shiv's character, Buchanan, sees him as kind of a leader to follow. Well, there are other connections, but I'll let you discover them as we go along. Thanks so much for getting me to this game. Back to you, Kurt.
Outstanding. Up next to my right. Yep, because everything's backwards, right? Right. We have Huli.
Hi, friends. I'm Huli, and I play games, run games, and produce games over at Heroes and Hooligans, and you can also find me in the background at Queen's Court Games. I am playing Dr. Victus, our resident our resident scientist. We'll call her that. So, yeah, that's what I got for you. I'm excited to play. Let's do it.
Outstanding. Next, we have our player from across the pond, the one, the only, the well-known bearded bastard of England, Shiv.
And I'm going to take that as my tagline from now on. Watch out for the merchandise. Hello, yes, I'm Shiv. You can find me everywhere at IO Shiv, and it's an honor to be playing with these players here at this table for this cause. I will be playing Daniel Buchanan, a politician, so as slippery as they come. So we shall see if he survives. Thank you.
rounding out this motley crew of players. It wouldn't be Guild Superior if we didn't have Dave here with us. So Dave, we know where we can find you, but who are you playing?
Yeah, I'm playing Samantha Thurston, who is was studying to be a paramedic prior to this strange outbreak, has held on to just a glimmer of hope for humanity throughout the last number of years, having stumbled upon various survivor groups, perhaps leaving some of them behind, but having found a unique bond with one of the party, that being Dr. Victus, and the two of them have been together for quite a long time, and we'll find out more about why they're together and what's happening, I'm sure, as we dive into the game. But yes, Samantha Thurston, and she is a paramedic, doctor type. Yeah.
As for myself, I am Covenant, also known as Kurt. I am a TTRPG game designer and writer. Most recently, I had a game published called Ragnaborg through Talon and Claw, which is a Morkborg port. I love all things horror, and I have been told that is the best thing that I am able to run. So I'm sticking with that theme. I'm a major Deadhead, and I love all things Walking Dead. So being able to run this game for this group is an amazing treat. Yes, that being said, one thing to note specifically about the rewards: it's not $100 a walker. It's $100 for a swarm of walkers, because as we all know, walkers like to show up at the most inopportune times. Specifically when you have that momentary lull of peace or rest. Mechanically speaking, for those of you who are watching, if you're familiar with the Alien RPG and its mechanical systems, this is a very similar mechanical system. It is pools of D6s. You have your skills and talent pools, and your opposed pools or whatnot are your stress pools. So when you hear the interactions and see the interactions going on or whatnot, if you're familiar with the Alien RPG, the Walking Dead system is very similar to that. Core aspect of this particular game is anchors, right? Anchors are what keep us grounded. Anchors are what keep us together. Players in this most of these players have very rich, connected, deep backstories. And this story that you're about to see is a snapshot within a much larger story that is going on. So with it, we are going to start off pretty hot and heavy, just so you guys are aware. And hopefully you guys enjoy and stick around and donate to a really good cause, because why? Kids are important. And as we all know, kids are the next thing. So we've got to keep the next thing going. Right?
Absolutely. Kurt, I have one thing to add before we dive into this.
Oh, no.
I forgot to mention that I do have a personal milestone for the fundraiser. If any one of the Guild Superior streams raises over $500, my Heroes of Greyhawk characters will level up immediately to level 5.
Heroes of Greyhawk. How bad do you want it? How bad do you
Start
want that level up?
donating, people.
Yep, they need it. So there we go. $500 gets a level up for my Heroes of Greyhawk.
Are they mid combat? Is that what that means? Like they're gonna level up
in my game, they're always mid combat.
All right, friends.
I mean, it's not The Walking Dead, but it's the roads are dangerous. The roads are dangerous in Greyhawk.
All right, friends. Here we go. Last time on The Walking Dead. The group is fleeing Savannah after the Mortis Cult, a new and dangerous collective that has made their way up from Florida, began launching raids into settlements along the coast up into Savannah, capturing and sacrificing people to their quote-unquote dead god. Led by a woman known simply as the Mother, our survivors are fleeing for their lives, but not before creating a great sin against the Mother. In the process, they have killed one of the cult's head lieutenants. Now they are on the run, and they must make it to Richmond, where a call of safety was heard. We go now to the outskirts of Prosperity, outside Savannah. Your village is burning. Walkers are everywhere. Gunshots are being heard. You've managed to gather those around you who are closest, and you have collectively come together. You've all found yourself in one of the garages of the village. There's a cargo van. People are jumping into it. Each of you, bloodied, broken, lost friends, new friends, and old. And you hear them beating on the outside of the door. They're coming. What do you do?
All right, come on, people. Come on. We got to hustle. We got to hustle. Get on this goddamn truck. Come on. Move it. Move it. Push people and,
There's more people out there that we have to save. They're dying.
We can't take them all.
Oh, let's go. Let's get gone. Let's
Come
go.
on, hop up. Come on, let me help you.
Yeah.
Go over to Buchanan. It's gonna be hairy as fuck getting out of here. Maybe it's best if I go out by the side and I'll draw them off, and then the rest of you can drive off ahead of here.
Okay, but where are we going to meet? Because we can't. I mean, what are we going to do?
I don't think meeting's part of the plan.
Okay. All right. Just stay safe. Okay.
Well, I'll do what I can.
Do what I can. All right.
How's the truck going? Are we pretty?
So your people are loading. Your people, specifically those who are your NPC anchors, right? Are the only ones that you've managed to get a hold of. They are loaded in. Some of them are wounded. Some of them, oddly enough, have gunshots, like gun wounds, which shouldn't really be a thing. However, some of you are aware of other aspects that may be going on inside the city. Everybody is loaded in. Who is going to be our driver?
Samantha will jump in the driver's seat.
Okay, Samantha, as you get in, you turn the key over because the keys were on the wall, and you see that the vehicle only has about a quarter tank of gas. There is no gas, there is no fuel cans around. You know that much to be certain, but you're pretty sure a quarter tank that'll get you at least 100 miles. That's some distance.
I'm not even going to mention that to any of the other people in the van. I don't want people to get panicky about it, but I try to turn it over, key in the ignition, crank it.
It cranks once, it doesn't start.
Shit,
Try it again, and then it goes over with a large backfire.
There we go, girl.
As the backfire happens, there's almost this immediate silence across the room, knowing just how loud that was. Outside in the windows, you see shadowed figures, shadowed hands clawing at the glass, pushing at the doors to this area. You're not 100% sure whether or not the gate itself is clear, but someone has to open the gate. Someone has to open this gate to allow you and the others to escape. Are they going to sacrifice themselves? Or are they going to try and make a jump to grab onto the vehicle as it leaves?
Well, I think that'll be me. I'll wait till everyone's on board, and then I'll climb up to the side of the driver, and I'll look at Samantha and go, look, I'm going to try my best to hop on this thing, but you don't fucking slow down. You fucking hit that gas, you step on it, and you stay standing on it until you're clear of this place, all right?
I will. Be safe.
Yeah, I don't think that's an option for any of us, but, we'll give it the old college try. I'll back down, and I'll go around to the side to where Bay is, and I'll just reach up and just touch your hand a little bit and go, if I stay here, you make sure you find her, all right? You make sure you find her, you make sure she's safe.
Could never stay, could you? Always have to go. Always run in the opposite direction.
All right, Buchanan, I'm gonna fucking kick those doors open. You drive.
Understood.
All right? I am going to try to jump on it when it goes by, just because
Fair enough.
not completely stupid, but yeah, I'm going to open it up
As
as wide as
you
I can.
as you run over to slam the release button to cause the motor to kick in to raise this bay door, you run over, and right as you reach it, you see on the far end of the garage the door gives way. Several of the windows give way, and the bodies begin flooding in. More gunshots and screams are heard now that there is this funnel of which the sound to carry. You hear people you've known for the last 3 months dying. You hear others shouting. You hear something that you're not familiar with in a language you're not familiar with. The door begins to open, and as it does, only a couple of walkers are in front. The gas is gunned. Samantha immediately hauls ass out, right? Hitting 1, 2. I need you to make our first roll.
Uh-oh.
You are currently under
Oh.
you are currently under 2 stress.
Okay.
No. I need McCready rather to make this roll. You are currently under 2 stress.
So my talent is disillusion, means I take no stress from seeing or doing acts of violence. With that, no.
This is you are going to make a mobility check to be able to grab on to the vehicle as it goes. The stress that you are feeling is because you've essentially been inside of a prolonged firefight for the last 2.5 hours. You're just physically tired.
All right, 2 stress. Let me just write this down here so I remember. And remind me how the stress affects.
So what that means is you're going to roll your pool, which is going to be your agility and your let me see this real quick, which is going to be your
agility,
your mobility and agility score. You have 2 stress. You're going to have 2 additional dice that are stacked on. The only 6s count as successes. If on those stress die you roll a 1, it needs to be known, because that means that it is a failure of a kind. You can still succeed, but still, quote unquote, mess it up.
Is there a way for me to offer assistance to this by like flinging open the van door and tossing an arm out for him to grab onto as he's running to get in the van?
You could be able to add 1 additional die for that one.
Okay, well, I got 3 6s and I got 1 on 1 stress die.
So you manage to the vehicle hauls ass out, right? They not wanting to let you go, not after having gotten you back for even the briefest of glimpses, right? Swings the door open, extends a hand to grab onto your arm, pulling you in. But in the process of pulling you in, you lose hold of your rifle and it drops onto the ground.
Damn it. I will, jump up, grab Vay's hand. The rifle goes clatter. I'm like, God fucking damn it.
As you look back and you look at the silhouettes behind you, Prosperity's burning. Samantha is gunning it. Those of you in the back, Victus, McCready, Daniel, all looking out as the door is swinging open. Walkers still moving towards that garage. You see several darkened silhouettes against the flame, and a truck pulling around, and someone standing atop of it as they just watch and shrink in the distance as Samantha's gunning it. The cabin smells of sweat, blood, fear. So much so it is palpable. Everything that you have worked for, everything that you have earned, everything that you have strived for, that bit of peace, that bit of stability, has all been lost in the span of an hour.
I look at my rifle disappearing in the distance. Still holding on to Vay's hand. Well, you always did want me to leave my job behind.
What a better time for you to start to learn that than when, the whole world is overrun by walkers.
Yeah, well, don't tempt me. I'm thinking about going out there and getting it back, because, Jesus.
It
And
wouldn't
he
be the
squeezes
dumbest
your
decision
hand.
to make.
Squeezes your hand so you know he's not really angry.
Good.
Sit
I'm
down.
just gonna.
A muffled cry is heard from one of the children, wanting to know what's going on, asking about her friends. Where's the rest of them? Did anybody else get out? The same thing can be said for your others who are with you. This small band, merely a fraction of those who were there. Concern, worry, but also an immediate mode of survival. Everyone looking to each other, trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong. We were safe. For once in a very long time, we were safe. Earlier that day, we find ourselves back in prosperity. The day is just breaking. Another beautiful day down here in South Carolina, just outside Savannah. Gardens are growing. That level of normalcy that so many sought and so many strived for was starting to happen. Walls were erected, a community had formed. So much so, walkers in this area had never been seen in great number for upwards of 5 months. Each one of you came to this town later on, after it was established. And while each of you was met with trepidation, you were eventually welcomed in and sought to be members of their community, their growing community, becoming a beacon of hope in this world very much gone mad. Samantha, it's about 10 in the morning. Frank comes stumbling into your clinic, clutching his hand. Sammy,
What is it this time, Frank? What is it?
I was working the field, the garden, and
Here, let me take a look.
damn spade snapped and freaking, and he holds out his hand. He's got a real bad gash across his hand. Something, stitches, clean it up, it'll be fine, right? But he's just like, I swear that the damn handle just snapped off. I wasn't doing anything.
Relax, Frank. It's going to be fine. She wipes her hands off from whatever she was doing, not having any way to really sanitize her hands very well. And she starts to look for the supplies she needs to stitch it up. She's like, it's going to hurt a second time, Frank, but just relax. Take a breath.
Just don't tell Lisa. She's going to get mad at me again. I'm not that clumsy oaf she claims I am. I do my job. I do my work.
Doctor, patient privilege here. Don't worry about Lisa. I'm not going to say a thing to her.
Fine. All right.
Just relax, Frank.
Crop's looking good. Crop's looking good. We may not have to go out and scavenge for winter this year.
That's great news. She takes his hand in her lap, basically, and she starts to pull out the hook that she's going to use to start to thread the skin back together, and pierces through the skin with the first pinch of pain. Hey, hold still, Frank. You're going to make it worse.
God
You're
damn.
gonna make it worse. This is nothing. I've seen much more serious lacerations than this. You're going to be fine. In her mind, she's thinking our antibiotics supply is dangerously low.
Yes. the last, as far as you knew, Buchanan was supposed to be working out a deal with some traders to get more medical supplies into town, because a small network has developed along the outskirts of Savannah, and one of the towns has made it their function, for lack of a better term, to raid into town and come back out with whatever they can find. And a network of communities has started to come up, but the antibiotics have not come. But as far as you know, Buchanan's got a meeting today. In theory, he should have those.
Now, this is not a thought that anyone should ever have to have, but she starts to think about Frank and his utility to the group.
Frank is not the smartest man, but he's got a strong back and he has keen survival skills.
Is he a good person?
He is the epitome of a good old boy. He may not always get it right all the time, but he will do anything he can to help his neighbor.
Okay. She finishes sewing up the wound and she washes it again with some water and some soap. And then she turns to a lockbox. She has a key that she wears on a chain around her neck. Mm-hmm. This lockbox is often with her, on her person. And she opens the lockbox and she pulls out a small pharmaceutical container, right? And she looks inside of it, and it's amoxicillin or some sort of an antibiotic. Yeah. And she looks inside. How many pills are in there?
You have approximately 50 tablets left of oral penicillin, mm-hmm. and you have mild painkillers, right? You're pretty much passing out Motrin and Tylenol and Midol for any sort of ailments that are out there.
Okay. So she takes a couple of the penicillin tabs out, and she says, Frank, you're gonna need to take 2 of these a day, 1 in the morning, 1 at night, with some food for 4 days.
Do you think I need it? I mean, like, I'm sure somebody else probably. It's just a cut. It'll heat up. I'll rinse it in the water every day.
Yes. Think of whatever might have been on that spade has entered your body. Just trust me. I'm.
Yeah. Of course, Doc. Of course.
And here's a couple tabs of aspirin. If the pain gets terrible, take them, but sparingly. And if you don't use them, bring them back, because inevitably someone else might need them.
Yeah, of course, Doc. No problem. I'll tell you what. How about instead of me taking the whole thing, how about you just let me see. And you see him open the thing up, and he pours out what amounts to about 3 days worth of meds, and then he like shoves them in his pocket, and he hands you back the bottle or whatnot. He's like, there's going to be other people who are going to need it, and I sometimes get forgetful, and I don't want to lose the bottle. You know what I mean? I've got them in my pocket, and twice a day with dinner, and it'll be good to go.
That's right.
That'll be just fine.
And I want you to come back tomorrow, and we'll take another look at it, and we'll just kind of monitor and see how it heals. But you should be fine.
Okay. All right then. All right. Fair enough. He goes, thanks, Doc. And he reaches into his little sack off to the side. He goes, it ain't much, but here you go. And he literally sets out 2 apples, bright red apples, as some form of payment to offer you, right? Knowing what you're giving up to help him. And he says, I'll see you tomorrow, Doc. I promise I'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you,
and
Frank.
And he walks out. The door closes. McCready. It's Saturday. You drew the short end of the stick. Being one of the very few people in town who actually really knows his way around weapons and proper security, you got to stand the wall today. But it's a simple job. Walk the wall, keep an eye out. But I mean, we ain't had a walker here in 5 months. Not really. one or two, but nothing in mass. You go up and you go to one of the towers that's there looking out and down, right? And you come across Melissa. She's sitting up there, 19 years old, got her daddy's hunting rifle. And she's just like, hey, old man, you got the wild today?
Yep.
All right.
How you holding up?
I mean, it's hot as hell up here. I don't know how they call this the fall season. It's still 90 degrees in this tower.
Small thing. Just think cool thoughts.
Why don't I think that ever actually works?
You know, mind over body. You know, the most powerful weapon you have is your mind. Can I see that rifle?
Yeah, I suppose. And she like holds it out.
When you hand a weapon, a loaded weapon to someone, make sure that, you know, and I'll show her how to properly sort of hand it over and all that. I'll look it over, just do a quick check, make sure everything's functioning correctly, check the bolt action and all that. You know what I almost did this morning? I almost left my rifle behind. Got out of bed, got my boots on, knew I had to walk the wall. And I was stepping out the door when I realized I dropped my rifle. I left my rifle behind. I go back and get it. Now, you know what that tells me? It tells me that the mind is the most powerful weapon there is, because without my mind, I would have left my rifle behind and then it'd be stuck out here without a rifle.
Her eyes looked glassed as shit over, right? Like she was just like, what? Like
Never leave your rifle behind is what I'm saying. And
she then she's like, oh, right. Well, of course not. I'm not gonna leave it behind. I have it when I'm up here, and then when daddy comes and he takes over, I'll just hand it to him, and then he makes sure that I have it whenever I have. I'm the best damn crack shot this town seen, so I don't want to hear nothing.
I know, I'm not debating that. I'm just saying that, you know how sometimes when things have been going well for a long time, you stop, you know, maybe you stop double checking things, you stop making sure the door's locked, you stop making, and that's what kind of happens, right? It degrades. It's kind of like if you take this rifle and you leave it out in the rain, eventually in time with the rain and everything else, the dust, the grit, it's going to degrade the rifle. It's not going to be able to shoot anymore. Well, your mind's the same thing. If you just leave it out there kind of with nothing happening, not challenging it, not keeping it sharp, eventually it's going to rust and degrade. And then the day something does happen, you're going to be shit out of luck. So first thing to do, tell your dad, or you do it better, get a little bit of oil in this action here. It kind of sticks a little bit. You see how it sticks a little bit when you kind of get to that last push? So you're going to want to oil that and clean that because there's probably a little bit of grit in there. And the other thing is when you're sitting out here and you're thinking, oh God, it's really warm, and oh God, it's so boring, and oh God, we haven't seen anyone, and oh God, I'm such a crack shot. Give yourself a little challenge, all right? Pick things out there. You see like that tree over there. Pick that and try to guess how far it is. Right? And then pick another thing and try to guess how far it is and try to figure with the strength of the wind, how much do you think your shot would deviate if you were aiming from that point rather than that point? You got to keep your mind sharp. You got to keep questioning things, asking things, keep your mind going, because it's too easy to just start daydreaming. You're looking at the ceiling. You're thinking about some boy, some girl you like out down there. And next thing you know, fucking you got walkers up here eating you, and that's just not good.
We ain't seen a walker in 5 months. No real ones anyway. We got a couple of crawlers, but that's
exactly when you need to be even more careful.
I mean, that may be, but I know what I know what I'm doing. And
I know you do.
We shift over to Daniel. Buchanan, you're in a back room near one of the walls. It's where trading happens. The town doesn't, it's not that it's unwelcoming to visitors, but some trade areas, trades can go bad, trades can go wrong. So they have designated trade areas. But then you also have a back door, as it were, to the town. This is where you keep a big cargo van. The door opens slightly, and you see them come in. Michael and Brad. Now, you've been waiting for this deal for a little while. They come in, Michael stands there, his imposing 6'2", dark skin, jeaned jacket, right? He's got weapons, axes, knives, everything around him. He's a seasoned scavenger of Savannah. And then there's Brad, the talker, the man who makes the deals, the man of which you have a mutual respect for because he knows how to cut a deal. And he knows that deals are how things get done. Now, Brad walks in. Buchanan, good to see you again. I trust our little arrangement is gonna work out. I have the items of which you requested.
Good. Then I think we got a good deal going on here. We do need medicine.
Well, you know as much as I do, medicine's super hard to come by. And if I was out there looking for medicine, I wouldn't have been fine. I wouldn't have come across what your special request. As he pulls the tarp back on the back of their flatbed truck of their little Toyota truck, right? And you see a whole case of pristine gin, all in bottles, all unopened.
Wow.
Now, I believe we had a deal, right? You come up off some of that stockpile of ammunition you guys got within these walls and helps facilitate us. And I help facilitate you, providing some of those necessary comforts, if you will.
I think this is the perfect agreement. I put my hand out, like, as we say in the business, you got to grease some palms to get what you got to get. So I think, yeah, there's the guy that looks after the ammunition I'm pretty close with. I can have a word in his ear and put him aside.
Oh, no, you already have the ammunition. That was part of the deal, right? And you open it up, like you open up the back of your van and there's several cases of various types of ammunition. Now, you're fairly certain there ain't been a walker attack in mass in months. This is obviously prime trading stock. We'll get more later, you tell yourself, right?
Yeah.
But I tell you what, gin and a whole flat of unopened canned pork and beans and vegetables. Whoo! You're going to be eating good tonight. And you definitely have some of the finer things in life to get a few other things done around this town.
Now, gentlemen, if you happen to come across any medicine.
Of course. Yeah. I'll tell you what. And he goes up to the front and he pulls out, like, quite literally a first aid kit, right? And he's like, here you go. Medicine's on us. And he hands you, like, quite literally, like, this, like, Costco special freaking, like, medical kit, right? That you could get at, like, a local fuel station, right? Like something you'd keep in your car. Nothing more than a handful of gauze, some bandages, right? Maybe a small amount of antiseptic, but nothing really big or great, right? These guys are very much after your ammunition, right? Because they're running low. You know that they're running low, but they also know that if they say anything about any of the other deals that have been going on in secret between you two, that bad things could happen.
I kind of shut the door of the van, be like, come on, that's not the medicine we need.
Well, it's what we got for right now, but I'll tell you what. Rumor has it you got a few weapons that may be unaccounted for in there. And, well, I'll tell you what, since days go by, the weapons are aging, we need some replacements. Meet us back here in 3 hours. We'll get you some medical supplies. I can't promise what, but we'll see what we can dig up.
All right. And I open the door again. Like, okay.
Yep. As you begin to make the exchange, right? You can't help but pocket a couple of those bottles of gin for yourself before moving the crates further in, setting everything up. Now, yes, the pork and beans, they'll get to the kitchen. The canned vegetables, they'll get to the kitchen. But you certainly know that among a few here, those bottles of gin will go significantly farther as alternate forms of currency amongst each other. Vey, Dr. Victus. You feeling the need to go up and say hi to your old friend Clyde, Radio Man. He's a good fella. He's been very kind to you these past few months. He was one of the ones who welcomed you in, who spoke up and said that she needs to be here. Though his intentions may not necessarily have been the purest at the beginning, he has grown to appreciate what you are bringing and grown to understand what it is that you are helping with this area. Now, you and him have talked, and he's been relaying messages to a couple of other scientists across what's left of the country, exchanging notes. He knows what you're up to, and a level of trust has been placed in him. And a level of trust from him has been placed in you. That when he spends a little extra time on the radio, or when he may or may not need a shift covered, technically he's the only one who's supposed to operate the radio. But you help each other out. There's a mutually beneficial arrangement happening. And on this day, you walk in and you find yourselves seeing Clyde sitting there, and he turns around. He goes, Vey, have I got news for you? Got a message in this morning. I don't quite know what it means, but he hands you a paper, right? And on it, it simply says, right? All it says is New Boston Lab. Results stable. Further testing required, but looks promising. Effective in 5 out of 6. Clyde looks at you and he goes, man, I don't know what that means, but 5 out of 6 sounds good to me. You know, there was a guy who said 2 out of 3 ain't bad, and I kind of figure that goes, kind of goes along the same lines, right?
Yeah, Clyde, something like that.
Yeah.
Something exactly like that, yeah.
Yeah, he's a good guy, that guy. Yeah. Like a bat out of hell. It's great. Anyway, so did you need to send out another message this morning or whatnot? We've got a small window before the mayor comes up and he wants to give his address. So is there anything else that you might need pushed out?
No. I think this is perfect. Aside from our daily call out to Mia, trying to connect back to her.
All right.
And now I got a little baggie for him. It's just a little tiny sandwich baggie.
Okay.
And in the bottom of it are 3 little mushroom caps.
All
And I'm
right.
gonna hand them to him. That's gonna be my this week's payment for his services.
All right. You think these would go good in some spaghetti? He says with a big grin on his face.
I was thinking more like pizza, but spaghetti sounds delicious.
Oh man, I ain't had a pizza. You know what? That reminds me, I got to get that brick oven built. Could you imagine if we get a brick oven built, we can make them brick oven pizzas? But I mean, that's gonna depend upon whether or not we can get sauce in. I don't imagine there's much sauce unless they come across something canned. But I know. We'll talk to Frank and tell Frank that we need to dip into them tomato seeds and we'll make our own. Like, it's a plan. It's a massive plan.
Yeah, if they're growing tomatoes in the garden, we can make our own sauce, some herbs, whatever. And I have this recipe for a cauliflower crust for pizza instead of, like the normal yeasty pizza. So if there's some vegetables growing, we could make a pizza. It'll work. Promise.
All right, then. All right. Well, I got myself a special little lunch. I'm gonna go ahead and gonna go have it real quick. If you don't mind, can you watch the radio? I'm gonna go eat real quick. Yeah. All right. Sweet.
Sure.
All right. So he goes over, right? And he has like a small little cooler kind of thing or whatever, right? And he opens it up, right? And he pulls out, like a hastily sliced chunk of bread because we don't really have sliced bread. So he's got to make the best as he can, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And he pulls it out and you see him and he's digging around in there, right? And it looks like he's got a hot dog and he throws it on there, right?
Yes.
And he reaches in and he looks left and looks right. And he pulls out a small jar and he opens it and he's shaking it over this hot dog, right? And a yellow liquid comes out, mustard. You can't even remember the last time you seen mustard. You thought it was going to be fucking goddamn spaghetti sauce. No, sir.
I did. I did think it was going to be spaghetti sauce. Oh. Mustard.
And he goes to eat it. Crackle comes across the speaker on the radio. Crackle, crackle. This is Perdition, calling from the edge of the new Commonwealth of America. We offer safety and security. We stand to rebuild what was lost. Find us. You are welcome here. And as you're hearing it, something sounds familiar. Something about this voice brings hope filling your heart, but your skin goes cold because it's a voice you shouldn't be hearing. Come to Perdition, the new Commonwealth, safety and security. Could that? Sounds just like her. That sounds not like her. That is her. Perdition. Commonwealth. Cuts out. And you can't help but fight back what tears fills your head. The air suddenly becomes very cold. That's your daughter's voice. You know that's your daughter's voice. And your hands and palms start to grow sweaty. You thought she was dead. You know she's dead. You think. You thought. Back at the tower. McCready, you see something moving in the wood line. 1, 2, 3, 4, 12, 20,
What's the fucking protocol?
36.
Holy shit, what's the protocol?
As you see this line of walkers coming out of the wood line, that eerie moan, that sound that they make as they move. Moving online, coming forward. You're stunned. Melissa's stunned for a moment. She reaches for the radio and starts to scream into it. Walkers! Hundreds of them! Walkers! And there's a slight alarm bell that goes off, like you would have heard in school when you changed class or when you were leaving for the day. And everything in Prosperity comes to a halt as you look around and you see everyone looking. The walker line moving forward, and behind it, a team of 10 people wearing gear you haven't seen since the war. Gas masks, and a flatbed truck with a woman standing atop of it, face painted. She points at the village, lets out a scream, and the walkers continue to advance. And the 10 men open up with automatic weapons, the walkers fixated on your village.
I'm going to first pull Melissa down to the ground. I'm going to say to her, stay low, stay low. We gotta get out of here. It's no use shooting at him. Don't waste any ammo. Come on, let's go. And I'm gonna sort of crawl out with her, and then I'm gonna stick out my head to see if there's a way to kind of get out of this tower and down without, exposing ourselves to being shot.
There's a ladder directly behind that you immediately go to and drop down.
Oh.
As you drop down, right, you look over towards the gate and there's a rock of an explosion as the gate itself is blown open and the walkers just continue to flood in.
Fucking just book it, grab Melissa, come down, start yelling out, Buchanan, get your ass out of here. And just making sure that people are not just standing there fighting. Like, we can't fight this horde is too much. So just making sure that people are pulling back.
People are starting to drop. The walkers grabbing them. And before too much longer, the armed men coming in behind them, shooting at any and all who show any form of resistance.
Keep pulling back towards a safe place to hide, taking some shots where I can, but not wasting my ammunition.
Buchanan, inside your warehouse, as you're taking inventory, you hear the explosion. You hear the shouting outside. It sounds familiar. You go and you look through the fogged old glass window, and you see walkers flooding in. And for half a breath, you think you see MacCready. And you're trying to gauge whether or not here is safe or not. Looking around, you find the gin and a bag full of rags. Victus, upon that, you hear the alarm going off inside the radio shack. The alarms are going off. The bells are ringing. You turn around and you look, and that same explosion is seen by you. Only as it disappears, the flame burst melts away. You see just over the heads of the walkers that flatbed truck, that same woman pointing at the village. Samantha, you have ducked under the table. You've heard the explosion. You're hearing the screams. You're hearing the gunshots, everything that's happening, right? And as you turn and look, you look around. What can you grab? What can you grab?
The lockbox. I grab the lockbox with the meds in it. Bandages if I can, and stuff a backpack.
As you are gathering that supplies, the gunfire erupts outside. People are screaming. The walkers are everywhere. And after a short period, you think you've got everything. And then the door to your clinic bursts open. Frank comes stumbling in, a large gash across his shoulder. blood pouring down his chest. He looks out of sorts, confused. Sammy, help. And he falls down to the ground.
I race forward, try to push the door closed. And I know what I have to do. I just pull out my knife. I'm gonna help you, Frank. It's gonna be okay. Right into the back of the where the spinal column meets the head.
His body twitches as your knife plunges into his skull. Victus, you see the gunfight happening outside. Where do you run?
For Sammy.
As you're running towards Sammy, trying to cut your way, you look left, you look right. You're seeing the walkers grabbing those that you just saw last night at the bar. Farmers, hands, people who you've helped, people you've shared a laugh with, people you've had a drink with. And suddenly, the peaceful world that you thought you were reclaiming was gone. And the horror that the walls protected you from becomes flooding back in. You look across and you see MacCready desperately fighting, taking out any and everyone that he can. You look over and you see Frank stumble into Samantha's clinic. And you see Buchanan opening a door and throwing a Molotov cocktail at the zombies.
So I think in the way of going towards Sammy, seeing MacReady by himself, as much as he irritates the piss out of me, I can't let him be there because I need to tell him some things. So I'm gonna help. I'm gonna go at least try to help pull him out and get towards where Buchanan's at.
You take off from MacCready. And we cut back to the inside of the van, speeding down the road. The faint glow of prosperity growing farther and farther away. Now a distant memory as the distance from whatever that was grows.
Was that them? Was that them? She's calling back as Samantha's driving. Was that the call? What was that?
Just keep your eyes on the fucking road.
She is laser focused on the road because she's basically expecting some sort of a roadblock or something, but she's got the gas pedal pegged right now.
Buchanan, you see road signs, and you remember, you're fairly certain anyway, 3 more miles. There's a gas station just off the road. You might be able to find shelter there for the night at least. There's enough
3
distance.
miles. 3 miles. There's a gas station. We can hunker down there. Maybe fill this thing up if we need it. What's the gas looking like, Samantha?
She looks over at you. It's not good. We're gonna need fuel. Let's pray there's some fuel there for us.
Okay, we're going to need to figure out MacCready. Ammunition. What have we got? We got any weapons? What have we got?
I don't know. I'm trying to get an idea of it. I look at Vey. I'm like, and without it being too loud, I kind of just lean into her and say, "We got to check if anyone's bitten or hurt. So can you go around, pretend you're doing a head count to see who's here, and just double check to make sure that there's not someone hiding a bite or something, a wound of that sort." I'm going to call out, "All right, everyone who's got a weapon, I need to see it. Take it out. Put the safety on it if it's a gun. Put it down at your feet, between your feet, so that we can get a visual count of everything we got. If it's a knife, if it's a gun, if it's a rifle, a bat, a fucking potato peeler, I want to see it. Put it down on the ground now between your feet."
They kind of like most of them, like they're pulling out like a knife. One of them has a hatchet, right? The but most of them are unarmed. Most of them just have whatever they carried. One of them even sets down a cast iron pan. Like there was not much.
Look at Buchanan. I got my Colt 45, but other than that, looks like we're about as fucking equipped as the fucking Boy Scouts.
I'll fling my
Okay.
lab coat back. I'm not gonna take my weapon out of my holster, but I will fling my lab coat back, and you'll see military issue service pistol at her side.
That's
Okay.
2 guns. You got anything, Buchanan?
I pulled up some like Molotov cocktail. I was like, I was slinging these. That's all I got.
You were fucking drinking?
No. This is just what I found. No. This is I have to find some in that back there.
All
So
right.
I
Well, let's put him somewhere safe. So it looks like we got 2 firearms. Samantha, you packing anything?
Just got this knife, and then she looks back. You kind of see she turns and she pats the satchel that she has slung over. You know what that means. She's got some supplies from the medical tent.
All right, good girl. All right.
Yeah.
Lean into Buchanan. I'm not 200% sure about this gas station thing. I mean, we're pretty close to where they are, and we got no way of defending ourselves. We're gonna have to make sure that we're set up and ready to go at a moment's notice, because
Yeah.
that wasn't
Is
you realize that wasn't just like a bunch of walkers who just fucking stumbled upon us, like they were out for a fucking Sunday walk and they just found us, right?
No.
Like there was
They-
people
they-
expecting them.
They were heading them in. Have you seen that before?
Have I seen them before?
Said anything like that before? Because I've never seen.
Oh,
heading
I don't
north
know.
just like
Last
that.
time I saw the type of gear they were packing, I was still in the army. They had some pretty high-tech
Right.
gear on.
It's like they were driving
Okay,
a herd
so-
of cattle right towards us.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
about maybe 10
So-
of them, and there was a woman on a flatbed truck. I didn't get too good a look on her, but she seemed to be the one that was kind of.
In charge.
You think it was
So
her?
gas station. What do you mean?
The mother.
Oh, it was definitely her. They will be like moving around and eavesdropping conversation while checking folks out to see if anybody's bitten. It was her. I saw her when I was coming down from the Radio Shack.
So
She rode on the back of that truck like she was just riding Gravedigger into a show or something. Like
She's
something's
the
wrong.
fucking Pope in the Pope Mobile. What's
Yeah.
what do we know about the mother? Do we know anything about the mother?
So you know that there were rumors coming out of Florida. Go figure, right? Of of a cult that was coming out of Southern California that started in Miami, or Southern Florida, that was coming out of Miami. They were a death cult. There was rumors that they were coming around, that they were moving around, but nobody had ever heard of them outside of Florida. That they were worshippers of the dead, that they believed that the dead were all those who were unfit to claim this new world, this new Eden, and that they would sweep away all those that were not meant for this next world, i.e., those who didn't convert were swept away, and that they would forever remain in servitude as part of her undead army. Now, herding undead is not unheard of, right? That's not an unheard of tactic. Many people have done it. But on such a large scale, it was believed to be a rumor, nothing more. Just a scary story that it was maybe 10 or 15 people at most, because no one would be able to do this. No one could en masse control the walkers like that. It's never been heard of before.
One of the things I want to do while we're talking about all this is I want to go through all the gear and stuff, and I want to redistribute the weapons to the people I know are better suited to use them.
There is no additional weaponry for the most part, aside from those knives.
Yeah, no, but that's what I'm saying. Like, if I'll just redistribute whatever we do have there to the people I think that,
They will not release their weapons to you.
Well, if any of them fucking like put up something,
They don't. No,
Yeah,
they don't. They don't try to come at you, but they are very much the whole. No, this is mine. Whether you have a gun or not is irrelevant to them. It is more of the you are not going to take away my only form of defense.
All right, fine. But if I see you turning tail and not help someone when you could be helping someone with it, I'll fucking put a bullet in you myself.
Dale holds up his cast iron pan and just like, I got you.
Look, I don't think I never thought I would say that I agree with McCready, but if we go to this gas station, staying there much longer than to find out if it has fucking gasoline is a death sentence. They have vehicles, they have a massive horde of walkers. We're too close. We're going to have to be ready to go. Like he said, at a moment's notice, we need to find fuel. Between the four of us, we don't have much.
Buchanan,
Hmm.
you know that there's going to be more there than just fuel. Whether or not you choose to let them know what is all there besides fuel is up to you.
Hmm. I think in this situation right now, I think I'll let them know what's at that gas station.
You know that there is emergency fuel there, about 20 gallons worth of fuel in 2 giant 5-gallon jugs, right? You also know that there is food. You also know that there is ammunition. And last you remember, there's a couple of weapons there, but you don't remember what kind.
Do you
And I'll relay
remember
this to
who might
everybody.
be holding the weapons? Like, is there going to be resistance here? Are we going to get ourselves into trouble?
This is a pre-designated stash, for lack of a better term. It's a, you know, that the scavengers or whatnot, they keep stashes out there, right? But you knew this one hadn't been touched in several months.
And also, real quick,
Okay.
thanks to Kentucky Fried Creature for the supply drop, because it looks like it's
Oh.
going to be very handy. Thank you for the donation.
Yeah. So it was one of the last sort of depots that I know of that wasn't touched. So
Correct.
we are looking, everybody. A good thing here. We can get food, we can get supplies, we can get weapons, we can get fuel. It's a quick in and out. We hit it, we're done, we're on the road.
All right, well, we're gonna pull up maybe about half a click off, and then Buchanan and I are gonna go scope it out. And if there's no one there and it looks safe, Sam, you're gonna drive the truck in super quick, and we're gonna take whatever we need, and we're gonna chop.
Speed is of the essence, people.
What's the distance between this gas station and Prosperity, where we just were?
Say
Like
it
the
one more
mile.
time.
How many miles are between the gas station that we're coming to and Prosperity? How far apart are they?
33 miles apart.
33 miles apart. And so walkers are traveling at about 3.5 miles an hour. So we do have a little bit of time if they're herding the horde like towards us. So we do have some time. What is that? 33, and they're going about 3.5. We got a couple hours in there, right?
Are you asking for confirmation or are you telling them?
I'm talking to the group as
Okay.
we talk about stopping there.
Possibly, but then there's a problem. What if they send their other guys? There's 10 of them. They could break off 2 or 3 and scout ahead without the walkers. So we have to be alert.
They could, of course, send people ahead.
I mean,
so
of course they would. That's what I would do. If I had 10 guys, 3 of you go and round up those fuckers that just left. Come on. It's a sensible option.
right. So between the herd and that, then we need to be here like less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Quick maths.
As the van pulls up and around, The gas station is unlit. Against the night sky, it's little more than an additional black, dark structure. You guys stop about a half a mile away, and you can see it from where you're at. Clear as day. Just not lit. McCready, you wish to go up by yourself?
Well, I was gonna bring Buchanan along for the ride just to do a quick check.
All right. Well, I don't
come
think so you two are going to approach on foot.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. The van comes to a stop, Samantha. And McCready and Buchanan get out and begin the half-mile walk towards the gas station.
Is it dark?
Oh, it is nighttime. It is very dark.
Okay, do we have a flashlight or anything that we can use to signal back if it's clear? So we don't have to walk all the way back?
Not unless you actively have it in your gear. What you have on you, listed on your character sheets, is what you have on you. You are not prepped for an expedition. You are not prepped for any of that. You have just what you have.
All right.
Do you have your lighter?
A
It's
useful
not right on
item.
my sheet.
A flashlight would be a useful item.
I will
Which-
give you my lighter.
Could be donated by the chat.
Yeah, I will give you
Please
my
help us.
lighter
Supply drop?
where you can make like a flame signal or something if you promise to give it
Alright.
back.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks. And while you're giving me the lighter, I'll lean into you and I'll go. If you hear us start shooting or anything happens, you just get Samantha to drive the fuck out of here. You don't look back and you just go as far as the gas will take you. All right.
But let's don't have that happen, okay?
I don't make the rules here, honey. I just play by them.
Do you tell him yet?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
Probably a good idea. We can. Let's go.
Let's go.
So I have binoculars. I want to kind of get just close enough that I can get like a good look at it and make sure we're not.
You don't see any movement. You do see some bodies, but you're not 100% sure on whether or not they're walkers that are just dormant or if they're dead. The glass has been busted out of some areas, but you do also see that wood has been put up over doors and over windows.
As we're kind of scoping it out, do we know if there's people that are supposed to be here or?
Buchanan, no.
No, not that last I was aware of. This is just the quick in and out. People take what they need and go, and maybe drop off what they don't.
Okay, so when we're kind of close enough that we get a good view of the place, I'll tell Buchanan, you stay here. I'm going to go scope it out closer. If anything happens to me, you book it back to the truck. If everything's all clear, I'll give you the sign. You go back and get the truck, all right?
Okay. Got it.
So I will stealth my way up, kind of obliquely around a little bit and go check it out.
Okay. All right. You know what? For this, let's have you make a stealth roll.
Do that for you. Am I still on stress too?
You are still on stress too.
All right.
You have not taken the proper time to relieve said stress.
Well, I wanted to, but you were like, walkers.
I mean, that's fair. It is my fault.
I got 2 6s and a 3 and a 4 on the stress dice.
Okay. So you approach. As you do, you come across a couple of the bodies are still active walkers, but they're beyond emaciated. They're little more than grabbers. They can't even really pull themselves around. They've been here far too long and haven't fed any time recently.
Yeah, I'm gonna kind of just give them a wide berth for now. I'll take her on later. and scoot up to the gas station and try to take a peek inside.
You can't really see inside as all the windows are boarded up where the glass has been broken, but it does look like that was intentionally reinforced. You listen in as best as you can, and you don't hear movement inside. Even the most stealthiest of people can never remain completely still. And with this much broken glass, you're definitely going to hear them if they're moving around.
Do I detect I'm not going to go in, but do I detect like a door or something like that so that we can have access to it, or are we going to have to rip out through some boards?
You may have to rip a door because you're not 100% sure how to get into here, but Buchanan might know how.
Okay. So I'm going to do a 360 around the place, try to get a beat on how many of these crawlers there are, and so on and so forth. And then I'm going to, if I feel that it's fairly safe, I'm going to find a piece of paper somewhere, light it up, and wave it in Buchanan's direction for a few seconds before stomping it out.
Buchanan, you see this faint flicker of light.
Excellent. I'll start making my way to where McCready is.
Back at the van, Samantha, Victus. The other survivors are with you. Their heads hung low, looking after one another. You managed to get a couple of kids out as well. And oddly enough, Victus, you managed to get your dog out. Oh, you thought I forgot. You thought I forgot about your puppy.
No, Alexander the Great. He goes everywhere with me.
Alexander the Great at getting you killed.
Probably.
What kind of dog is this? How
Yeah.
how many people can it feed?
Knowing Vey, it's probably a fucking Chihuahua.
It's none of the above. It is none of the above. It's a little Shiba Inu with a little curly tail.
Oh.
God.
Samantha would take a moment to just scan the group to see if there's any injuries that need to be dealt with, or anything, dealt with in multiple different ways.
One of the children's father is very much trying to hide a bite mark on his leg.
Okay, she's not going to.
The other survivors don't seem to have noticed. And the two children are just they're very sad. They're trying to figure out what's happening. They're asking all those painful questions that we don't like to hear. Where's mommy? Was our brother Tommy? He is not. The other survivors are pulling out of the van just to try and stretch their legs a little bit. Dale reaches into his pocket and he tries to offer the kids. He actually has a couple of peppermints that he'd been storing away, and he tries to offer it to the kids. The father, he kind of reluctantly smiles and nods, right, letting the kids have it. The puppy, the little dog, seems to be keeping them somewhat distracted, though the father says not to play with the dog too much because the dog will start to bark and we don't know what's out there.
Is Dale the one with the bite?
No, the father is.
Okay, what's his name?
His name is Jeffrey.
Okay,
His name is irrelevant.
I'll just elbow Vey and kind of motion towards him, and then I will approach him as people are kind of getting out of the van. I'll just put a hand on the shoulder and say, "Is there something that you wanna tell us?"
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm going to give him the most mom knowingest look on the whole planet. You know that one when your mom comes to you because she knows you did something wrong and wants you to tell the truth? That is the look on my face.
He looks at his kids and then he looks at you and he goes, "No, I'm fine."
Stop. you know that you're putting their lives in danger along with the rest of us.
It doesn't. It like
You know
you
how
can
this
see.
works.
You can see the actual logic is gone, and it is fear, right? And he goes, just
You want to say goodbye to your family?
you just need to just leave it alone.
I can't do that. We can't do that. And you know that. You know what needs to be done. We don't want this to happen. And we didn't want any of this to happen. This is our worst nightmare, but we have to deal with the repercussions of the things that happened to us, the cards that were dealt. You know what this means. You know what this means to your family.
I'm all that they have left.
They have us. They have the group. They have what's left of this community, and we're all looking out for each other, and you need to look out for us too. You know what needs to be done.
It hasn't been that long. Can't you like just amputate or something, and that'll be fine?
Sure, if we were back home in town where we had the supplies and the ability to do so, where you had the healing time and we had the kit to, suture you shut and not make you a walking zombie magnet.
Look, Vey is right. Let's step over here. Let me take a look at it. Maybe there is something that we can do. And she just kind of looks over at Vey like, you know what's about to happen. We don't want to alarm anybody.
He actually looks at you with a degree of hope in his eyes, knowing that the scientist and the doctor essentially of the town, right? The doctor going, okay, well, maybe we might be able to do something, he actually has a degree of hope in his eyes for a moment. And he's like, okay. And he walks over limping.
All right.
And he's just, what do you think?
Just sit down and pull up it's on his leg, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. Pull up your pant leg. Let's get a look at this thing.
And he does, he pulls it away, his pant leg up, and you can't actually tell if it's a bite mark or not. It is a very gnarly wound, but you're not 100% sure if it's a bite mark.
I've seen a lot of bite marks. I've seen a lot of the necrosis that happens when it's infected and leading towards something. Is it? I mean, the bells and whistles are going off in my training. Correct. I'm assuming at this point. All right.
Yeah.
It's
dark. You don't have a flashlight. The only thing you have is a faint glow stick. And with that, you can't exactly tell because blood looks black under a green glow stick. You're not sure.
From my pack, I've got, my mushrooms because that's my thing, right? And I'm going to pull out a little bite of like lion's mane mushroom, and I'm going to give it to him to chew on. Here, this is good. I'm going to tell him, to help with the pain, the inflammation. And unbeknownst to him, when I hand it to him, one of the mushrooms that are going to be included in there is one of those that's going to be a mild sedative, help him kind of like into sleep so that we can manage this as softly as possible. Just something to naturally ease a mild sedative.
He goes, he looks at you both and he's just like, okay, just... I'm trusting you. I'm trusting you.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine. She'll start to kind of like poke around the edges, trying to get an assessment of
like as he eats it, as you do it, he lets out winces of pain, right? And he's just like, it'll be okay. It's just
Samantha looks up at Vey and just kind of just barely imperceptible. It just kind of shakes her head back and forth like, not gonna be okay.
Yeah. So Hey, buddy, what's your favorite song that you used to like to listen to? Like something that relaxed you, or, maybe a lullaby your mom would sing to you when you were a child.
I don't I don't have a like uh and he kind of like drifts off.
It's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. Are you doing well? All right. She's gonna stand up and unsheath her sizable knife.
Oh, it's a hunting knife. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
a
it's a
big
knife.
knife. Yeah, a Bowie knife, if you will. It's gonna be okay. And she just kind of like in her mind, she's saying, "This is the second person from my community that I'm killing today."
I need you to make a stealth roll. Remember, you are under the effects of 2 stress.
Yep. Okay.
Sam, I want to is there a way I can sort of pick up how Sam is feeling as I can see what she's doing?
Did you roll a 1 on any of your stress dice?
Nope. In fact, all 3 of the stress dice or the 2 stress dice were 6s.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Samantha, how are you feeling? How are your emotions being betrayed upon your face right now?
Oh yeah, she has this kind of a frown. Her eyes are welling with tears that have yet to fall. Like I mentioned, in her mind, she's thinking, this is the second person I've had to put down that I know.
So since we traveled together before even coming here, I assume that we have built up some sort of mutual understanding of each other's telltale signs of emotional stress.
Oh, probably, for sure, yeah.
I'll just put my hand on your shoulder, give it a little squeeze, and take your knife out of your hand, so that way I can do it so you don't have to.
It's gonna be fine. It's gonna be fine.
I need you to make a stealth roll. You are under 2 stress.
Okay. 2 stress. No ones. I got a 4 and a 5.
No successes. You go. Where do you try and put the blade in his head, or just let him pass on his own, like in his heart or what have you?
I would wait for him to have the sedative and the mushrooms kick in where he's not going to fight us back.
Oh, he's asleep at this point.
Oh yeah, then absolutely, probably, in the side of the head, like in the temple, or whatever. If he's got his head lulled to the side, probably right there at the back of the neck. But just straight up done. No suffering after this, no nonsense, none of that.
Okay, you netted 0 successes. As you plunge the knife into his temple, there's a brief but audible Daddy, where are you? Daddy.
The welled up tears begin to fall.
Back at the gas station.
Yeah.
Buchanan, you get up there. McCready's waiting on you.
Okay. Did you find anything or anyone?
Couple crawlers, pretty bent out of shape. They're not going to be too much trouble. I'm looking for a piece of 2x or something to finish them off, but place
Okay.
looks sewn up pretty tight. They got boards up all around. It's been reinforced. I don't see a way to get in. But I don't think there's anyone inside unless they're being way quieter than I would expect them to be. But I don't know. We're going to get in there We're probably gonna have to rip some of these boards out. Maybe we can use the truck. I don't think we have any tools with us.
Well, I might know of a way.
You do know that there is a way in, Buchanan. You know that on the backside there is a false wall through the ice machine. So if you go in through the ice maker, essentially the back of it's cut out and there's a portion of the wall that's cut out, right? All you have to do is break the padlock that's on the ice maker.
You how
Yeah. So you,
how what way?
round the back. Follow me. Let's have a look. I'll show you.
How do you know this?
You head. How do I know this? It's my business to know, McCready. How do you think these things come into the town? How do you
Yeah,
think
it's your
these
business
things
to
happen?
know, but it's your business to fucking share also. Like, well, what do you know about this place? Who set this up? Who's here?
It's just a few contacts that I know. It's like a little thing that everyone does.
It's like a little
Supply this
thing of what?
place.
What are you talking about, Buchanan? Who are these fucking people?
It's just associates, you know, people that we trade with. We get supplies from. We get medicine. We get things like that. And then
And these
you
people
have to-
know. What do they know about us? Where we are and what our defense? Have they been into the compound?
Well, not exactly. No.
Are you fucking lying to me?
What is this? Come on.
Yeah, make a roll to see if I feel he's lying to me.
You sure can. You know what? Yeah, make an empathy manipulation roll to see whether or not he's lying to you.
Mein friend, 2 6s. No
Ooh.
one's on the stress die.
Are you lying to him? Are you attempting to mislead him?
I think the gravity of this situation, I'm trying to basically, like, no, of course not. That's not how I would operate. No.
But it's pretty clear you're fucking shitting me, right?
Listen, at some point you have to do some deals that maybe are a little bit closer to home than we would like, but it worked. Everyone was fed, everyone was safe, everyone had what they needed.
Yeah, now suddenly we got a fucking 100 fucking walkers and a bunch of fucking special forces geek and some fucking grandmother or something coming up and knocking at our door.
Yeah, but I can't fucking account for these things, can I?
No, but can you account for these people who know where we are, who know what our defenses are, who know what we got going on?
It'll be fine. Trust me.
Thank you,
Look,
Creature.
I'm not fucking one of your voters that you can just fucking massage into whatever fucking position you want. Like, I
mean-
told you that I would support you and back you up because I think you got what it takes to fucking lead us wherever the fuck we can go. But these kinds of backdoor shenanigans, like, these are the kind of shit that gets us killed. You don't know
I'll
these
put my
fucking
hand-
people. You don't know who they are. You don't know what they might want to. You don't know who might be making them a better fucking deal than you're making them.
I'll just put my hand on McCready's shoulder and be like, listen.
Don't
if it
fucking
means
touch
we
me.
can-
Don't fucking
Hey.
touch me. Look, you can't fucking massage me right now. We got a whole bunch of fucking people who are dead, right? There are
Listen.
dozens of fucking dead, including fucking children back there. We had to leave everything we had behind. Now we're on the run with a truck that's got fucking 2 ounces of gas in it, right? In this fucking gas station in the middle of fucking nowhere. We have nowhere to go. We have no fucking gear. And you're gonna fucking put your hand on my shoulder and tell me it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right. It's not gonna be fucking all right. It's already fucked.
Listen, we don't need to lose our heads right now.
It's
This is
been
not the
fucking late
time
for
for it.
that, man. The heads are off and they're
Come on.
fucking rolling in the dirt. All right, if you know how to
mean,
get in there, get us the fuck in there, but we're gonna revisit this.
All right. Okay. But once we're on the road, we'll come back to it. Okay. Let's just focus on the people we've got to take care of right now. Because I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
stop
back there.
flapping your lips and open the fucking door.
Okay. And I'll lead him to where the padlock is.
All right. So you come across the padlock.
Kurt, real quick, thank you, Kentucky Fried Creature. 2 donations of loaded handguns have entered the game.
Ooh,
We appreciate you. And we are now over the $1,000 mark in the fundraiser. We're a quarter of the way there. Thank you
Nice.
so much for helping us get there. Let's keep the momentum
Get
going.
in.
Let's survive.
KFC, you crazy, crazy
Yeah.
bucket of chicken, you.
Thank you so much.
Standing.
There is what appears to be a padlock. You've busted padlocks like this plenty of times. Good solid hit. They come off easy.
Movie padlocks.
Exactly.
I'll take the butt of the gun and I'll.
You strike it, and the audible clang is heard as you break the padlock off, and you open. And as you open the door to this thing, you look in, and you see a tunnel through the back of the ice machine into the wall of this gas station.
After you.
Of course.
Lead by fucking
I mean-
example. Go get in there.
Yeah, for sure. And I head in.
All right, so you head in and you crawl into the room. You're feeling around in the dark. There's a damn switch here somewhere. You remember there being a switch. And after a little bit, you find what amounts to like the big breaker box, right? Do you click it on?
Yeah, I think I will.
I want to fucking stop him.
You're not in there yet. You're still crawling through.
I'm a fucking shoot Buchanan.
As he clicks it on, you hear the as you hear that that clicking of halogen light bulbs turning on inside the building, and the room gets lit up, right? And as that moment of anger swells within you, right? Like you're like, I'm gonna kill him. You look around, right? And you see on the wall a Spaz 12 shotgun sitting right there with several boxes of ammunition underneath it, as well as several handguns with ammunition, canned foods set there, giant jugs of water, and 2 gas cans. And as if on cue, you hear that, right? Of like a jukebox turning on. And in a low murmur, you hear, I ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time. Out near the van,
Everybody in the vehicle now.
you got hang on. Everybody out at the
Scared.
van, you look out, right? And you see a flicker, right? Through the building. You see the sign for the gas station go to light up, and then it shorts out as sparks shoot out and across, right? But one of the signs, the neon signs, right, flickers. One letter at a time. O-P-E-N. O-P-E-N.
I think that's our cue. That little kid that was coming up, or was saying daddy, just gonna step forward, grab the child, and just say to the rest of them, everybody back in the van now, and hand the child to another one of the adults and just kind of shuffle them in.
Wait, where's Jeff? As like Dale puts the kid in the back. It's all right, man. Just hang on. Where's Jeff?
Jeff went to pick daisies because he's gonna be pushing up wildflowers.
Oh,
I'm gonna crank the ignition.
but what about Dad? Where's Dad? We gotta get Dad. What? Look, and you see the little girl. She's just like, I need Dad. Dad, Dad's gonna make sure that we're gonna be okay. We can't leave him. As the van peels out to head down towards the gas station. Back at the gas station, the sound is muffled, right? As you can very blatantly tell, those who were using this used this building without abandon, right? They didn't care. They knew that nothing was really going to happen. You go over and there's a small mechanics pit on the side of this gas station. It's a fairly decent sized fuel station and auto repair station, right? One of those conveniently located post-apocalyptic type gas stations where, there's just about everything you could need inside of it, as if it was a supply point for people to gather things that, had decided to donate what they were able to, at this point. But you see this garage pit or the mechanics pit, right? That's got the things, and you're fairly certain the van itself could fit in there.
There,
See?
Vay, there. That's our spot right there, and I'm gonna steer the vehicle up to that location.
Yeah, if you
Still
pull down.
staring daggers at.
Do any of you open the garage door?
Ooh, yeah. I want to listen to it first. Make sure there's nothing in there.
There ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Okay, yeah, I'll fling the door up if I can. If it's not locked or whatever, I'll try to
All right.
open it.
The door opens and the music immediately gets really loud as you are flooded with light from inside the garage. And it's almost blinding for a moment. Samantha, your eyes are kind of blinded for a moment as the windshield is lit up with all this fluorescent light from inside. The door itself was blocking all the light that was escaping. And you are able to, after a few moments, your eyes clear and you are able to pull the van in. The other survivors get out. Dale reaches over, closes the garage door.
I'm gonna
I go and plug
the
that jukebox.
Yes. Yes. Same.
You unplug the jukebox and an eerie silence comes over. McCready, having taken a head count earlier, you realize that you are one light and there are two very upset children. As Dale and one of the other survivors, Victoria, she's trying to console the kids.
I'll saddle up to Vay and go. Everything okay?
Jeff is out picking daisies.
Not Scottish, Jeff.
No. North Carolina Jeff.
Oh. Okay. All right, everyone. There's a lot of stuff in here. Don't fucking go running. It's not Christmas. This is not a Christmas tree. We're gonna triage it, see what's here. A couple of guys, I'll point out to a couple of guys. There's gas there. Get that in the truck. We're going to start triaging, looking at what's here. Again, I'll pick up a couple other people and say anything that's canned goods, food, anything, put in boxes, put in the back of the truck. I'm going to check the weapons. Samantha, you want to take a look around, see if there's anything that we might use and sort of make a triage of any sort of first aid gear we might find. Vay, if you want to give me a hand with the guns, and I look at I look at Buchanan.
Since
Give him one of
Samantha's
those looks.
looking for medical supplies, I'm going to give Samantha a list of things that we're looking for. An Erlenmeyer flask, 500 milliliters in size at the smallest, graduated cylinder, distilled water, glucose, dextrose works, 2 grams I need if you whatever you can find to work, yeast extract, citric acid, and powdered non-fat milk if you could find any, and sea salt.
Making one of your famous cakes again?
Penicillin, actually.
Yeah. Oh, and Disco Express, looking over at Buchanan. We're gonna need people to keep a watch out. So how about you handle that? Can you handle that without fucking starting all this again?
I mean, yeah, sure. I mean, I don't know what you got the ass about it. I mean, look, we're supplied. We'll get on the road. Let's just be quick, people. That's all. That's it. All we got to be quick.
Just go and sort of go triage the weapons and whatnot.
I'll look at Samantha. Does Samantha still look upset?
Hold on. Samantha, as you get there and you get a moment, you're sitting there in the driver's seat. The first chance to really kind of catch your breath. Staring off into the distance. Reaper! Reaper! As an old memory floods into your mind. Another camp you were in. We ain't got time to save him, Reaper. Just do what needs to be done. We got to get out of here. As a face you can't quite make out, but a voice familiar floods your brain. And you look out, and before you, on a makeshift gurney, is someone you once knew. A face you can't forget, but a name that's been lost to time.
Computer stop.
You were forced with a decision.
It had to be done. It was the only way. It was the only way. It had to be done.
Buchanan, you hear Samantha utter those words briefly before you reach out and touch her. Samantha, you are brought back to this moment, seeing Buchanan looking at you.
What is it? Is it all there? Are we good?
Yeah, we'll be okay. You okay? You look like a bit upset.
No, I'm not okay. Those kids. Fucking kids.
So I heard about Jeff.
North Carolina, Jeff.
Mm.
Yeah.
What happened?
He was bit. We had no other choice.
And you are 100% certain?
Doesn't matter now, does it? He's gone.
No. Okay, well,
Look,
listen.
things happen and it's for the greater good, but those kids, I don't know how we're going to deal with it.
Decisions have to be made, and there's always tough decisions that have to be made. Yeah, but you did some good driving out. You got us here safely, so thank you for that.
Where do we go from here? Where are we gonna go from here?
Well,
we lost everything back there.
Yeah, we're just gonna have to hit the road for a while. Try and keep as much supplies as we can, maybe scavenge a bit as we go, and keep moving, because these guys are gonna be hot on our heels.
We're gonna have to come up with a plan. I hope Buchanan's got a plan. We've got these people to protect. Some of them don't look. Some of them, well, they're gonna need a lot of help.
Yeah. Don't worry. We'll get together. Me, you, Faye, McCready. We'll get a plan.
Yeah.
We'll figure this shit out. Don't worry.
We always come
I'll
up
put
with
a hand on her arm.
with a plan.
Put my hand on her arm and be like, look, you did good. You got us here. You made a tough decision. Don't let it weigh you down.
And with that, we're going to take our one and only break. And when we come back, we're going to find out, where are they going to go?
Wow. Intense.
So stick around with us, folks. We got about an hour or so left. We're gonna take a quick little bio break, refresh some drinks. Make sure you do so yourself. For those of you who are in the same time zone as me, it's lunchtime. So make sure you grab some lunch, something. But be back here shortly for the last part of today's session for The Walking Dead. Thank you everybody so far who have donated, and please do continue to do so. More to come, friends, so stay tuned.
Hey, everybody, welcome back to The Walking Dead. And thank you to everyone who has donated to the charity so far. We are over $1,000. We're a quarter of the way to our $4,000 goal. So thank you so much for helping us get there. A bunch of donations came in during previous streams. We're only 4 days into this thing. We've got 8 days to go. We can do this. Together, we can make the world a better place for these kids who are in extended stay situations at hospitals. If you are interested in making a donation and you have the means to do so, please consider doing that. I'll put a link in the chat to the donation platform, which is a Streamlabs charity. All the money that you put in there goes straight to the charity. Neither the Guild or Phoenix or the platform take any of those funds. That's why we're using the Streamlabs, because they don't take a surcharge out of that. So it all goes directly to Games for Love, and they do awesome work, and we are super, super stoked to be supporting them. So if you have the opportunity to give, please do. And if you can't, that's okay. Maybe just help spread the word by sharing the link with your friends and your family and your network of people, and try to amplify and get that message out that we're doing some fun stuff, having a good time, and we're doing good things. Kurt, back to you, sir.
Welcome back. Last we left off, our friends had made a hasty escape, leaving their safety of their village, of which they had lived in for the last several months, as it has been overrun by walkers, led by a mysterious woman simply known as the Mother, and her death cultists, somehow able to garner and herd the walkers and utilize them as weapons. Not many made it out of that village, but our heroes here did, along with a few others, though their numbers have dwindled since leaving. Buchanan knew the spot of a drop-off point, of a supply point, and led the group there. Samantha, having had to make difficult decisions throughout the entire day, her past echoing to her current present, making things more and more difficult to deal with. McCready's been trying to do the best that he can to try and maintain control of the situation, though there's information that he doesn't have that will definitely influence his future decisions. And Victus holds the key to the group's salvation, doing what she can and making sure that it is timed right to tell those who are most important what she knows. Because most importantly, she knows hope is a very, very sharp, double-edged blade. So now they find themselves in the supply point at an abandoned gas station where they are able to refuel, get something to eat, and take a moment of rest. As such, the apparent safety that this building offers, however little, is enough to grant, if anything, a bit of mental rest. Everybody can reduce their stress by 1. So they are now all at 1 stress versus being at 2. Taking in the surveying the area, you're able to look out and look in, gather what supplies you can. A full supply list will be written up after the session for you guys to take advantage of. We'll roll those after stream. But more importantly, as decision sits before you, where are you going? What's happening? As the group gathers, Dale and Victoria bring the kids over. The kids look up at you. Samantha. And they ask, "Where is he? You said you were going to fix him."
He gets down on a knee in front of the child. Your father, Jeff, he was a good person, and look, what happened back there, he didn't make it. Your father didn't make it, and he made a choice to protect you and your family and the rest of us, because one of those walkers back there bit him. But he was strong, and he told me to tell you that he loved you dearly, and that the decision he made was to protect you. Your father was a brave man. I'm so sorry, but he's gone.
The kids trying to process what exactly that means. The boy does his best to choke back what tears he can and stand strong. Daisy, she just looks and, well, before everything happened, the preacher man, he said that if we bury them, they won't come back, that they'll have the good sleep. Can we bury him in the morning when the sun's bright?
Yes, of course we can. Of course we will. When the sun's bright. Absolutely. She's thinking in her head, there's no fucking way we're gonna stick around for that. Of course. He was a brave man, and he did it for you. He saved us all.
The kids kind of turn, and Dale just kind of gives you that look of like, are we seriously staying here till dawn?
I just kind of catch his eye for a moment, and micro expression of like,
Yeah.
I'm just doing what I got to do, pal.
Dale finds a couple of blankets and a jacket that he wraps around a few phone books to make a pillow for the kids. And lays them out in the back of the van to try and let them get some sort of sleep if they can. Victoria goes with them, tends to them. The remainders come around to the front, and a group gathering happens. The same question on everybody's mind. Where to next? What do we do next?
What about it, Buchanan? Where to next?
Well, yeah. Options. What options do we have? What's nearby? What's close? What can we potentially scavenge from? Any ideas? Any clue? Anybody got anything that we may want to hit and then keep moving on?
Do we have a map
Before we
of the
can-
area? Start looking around if there's a map.
There is an old map. There is an old map in there. It's got the standard, like maps of the area or whatnot, right? It is a South Carolina, North Carolina map. And one side is North Carolina, one side is South Carolina. You guys see where you're at. You're about 30-ish miles from Savannah. And you start looking it over. Now, Greenhaven is about 120 miles up the road. You've been to Greenhaven before, McCready. Same as you, Buchanan. You had passed through it on your way down to Savannah. It was a small commune, and they were nice enough to provide supplies and things along those lines, but they were very much were full here. And so you all had continued along your way, right? They were for the most part agreeable, but they had some particular ways about themselves that were not necessarily in line with what you guys were for. And we'll leave it at that. But you do know that there is a town, or a village that's there. And as far as you know, McCready, they are part of the trade network.
Well, we could drive up here. I don't think we're going to find long-term lodging here, but we might trade with us. We might be able to trade a couple of the excess things we have here for maybe a bit more fuel and things to get us a bit further. But beyond that, I don't know really where we can go. We could try the islands, but, we're not the first one to have that thought, so...
Anybody else got any ideas? Anything they want to put forward? They were trying to collectively come up with something.
Whatever plan we do come up with, I'd like it to not be us having to put down more of our own. We need a safe place. Safer
There's no
than this.
safe place. There's no
Safer
safe
than
place.
this. There
Nothing's
is. There
fucking
has
safe.
to be.
There is
There-
not. We're going to be doing this every day of our lives. It's always going to be a few minutes of peace, and then we're going to have to run again.
I refuse to believe that. There has to be something. There
Dale
are
said.
good people out there somewhere.
Dale says, "Well, what about Fort Sumter? I mean, there was that rumor that the Marines took it over, and granted, it's a bunch of jarheads that own the place, but I mean, they protect us. There's something, right? I mean, it's an island, I mean, we have to figure out how to get to it, but we could do it."
As a former jarhead myself, let me tell you one thing. If there are a bunch of jarheads there that have taken the place over, they may very well let us come in, but it's going to be their way or the highway at every second and every turn. And I've been with you guys long enough to know that most of you are not squared enough away for a fucking jarhead camp. Now we can try, maybe we can get a couple nights out of it, but...
Well, is there any crayons in here? We could bribe them.
Oh, we've got some supplies we could
If
possibly
there are
find.
any active or former Marines currently in the chat, I would like to state that there are in fact no snacks available right now for you. Okay, I'm just putting that out there as an additional disclaimer. Thank you, and back to the game.
What were we saying?
We need a
Look,
plan.
Fine.
We need a
maybe it's
plan is
time
what
to
we're
look.
saying.
Maybe it's time to look even further afield.
How far are you thinking?
Well, look, I know it's tempting to stay out here where we don't have to deal with the weather, but maybe the weather's a fucking problem for the walkers too. I never heard of a fucking walker being able to chase you down in a fucking snowbank.
So north.
Natural elements could be a good idea.
When we're looking at this map, is above the table, GM, is Perdition a place that exists on the map, or is it a New Age settlement name?
New Age settlement name.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna SOS tap Morse code onto McReady's arm and
Okay.
walk over by where we were near the guns and just like, make farce at cleaning or packing or counting something that makes it look like I'm letting the big heads handle this.
Okay.
I'll give it a couple of moments, and I'd be like, I don't know. It's something to think about. I mean, at this point, we might as well flip a fucking coin. The one thing I know is we can't stay here because fucking this place turned into a light show fucking 10 minutes ago. And if there's anything within, 3 miles of this, they're gonna know they're gonna be coming. So pick a direction. You're the fucking boss, Buchanan. Pick a direction and let's go. I'm gonna walk over and head to Vay.
Yeah, so I'll pull out my notepad where I was writing notes.
You okay?
Yeah, so I'm gonna get my notepad out and I'll flip it open to the part about Perdition. When I was in the Radio Shack earlier, before the attack happened, I was listening to the radio for Clyde so he could eat lunch, and a call came across from the new Commonwealth, someplace called Perdition, and they're offering safety and security. Now,
Never heard of that.
well, I hadn't either, but it was Mia, Zeke. It was Mia.
Mia who?
Mia, our Mia.
The fuck are you talking about, Vay?
Just what I said to you. I listened and it sounded familiar, and as the message played, it was just like part of me lit on fire because I recognized that voice. I would recognize that voice anywhere.
Are you okay? Did you get hit? Are you...
And don't look at me like that. I'm not playing games.
Look, look. I don't doubt that you think you heard that. But first of all, it's a shitty ass fucking radio. Second of all, it's been years. Third of all, it's fucking impossible. So I don't know what you
It's not
heard,
impossible.
but it was someone who sounded like, you know how Buchanan sounds like the fucking disco duck once in a while, right? That's what you heard. Like, it's just the voice. Like, it's not what you heard. Now, let's
Don't
focus.
patronize me, Zeke.
How would that even look? Do we even know where this Perdition place is?
Where the border of the new Commonwealth is. So, Virginia area, Northern Virginia.
Fucking, of course it was going to be Virginia. Jesus Christ. Okay. And did it sound? And you can see he's kind of getting a little like, he's usually like pretty like tata, and he's getting a little kind of scatterbrained about things. Did it sound pretty genuine? Were they saying that it was a place people could go, or were they telling people don't fucking come here, we'll shoot you?
No, they were definitely inviting people in, with, offering safety and security, rebuilding what was lost, that sort of like
New age fucking shit.
like an emergency broadcast message would be, except for like offering sanctuary.
Okay, look. It's pretty fucking far from here. Now, if we go back there and we tell these people that's where we gotta go, we're gonna be on the hook for that. Now, I'm not saying that if we get there we don't find what, if we're taking a chance, we're taking a chance, we're rolling the dice, that's fine. But I'm not going back there and telling them that you heard our dead daughter's voice on the fucking radio telling you to go to fucking perdition.
Listen, if you don't want to go, you don't have to go. But I am going. I know what I heard, and I'm going.
We're gonna go because that's the one place. It's the only option we got right now. But don't be fucking telling people that you heard Mia's voice on the radio. They're gonna fucking think you're loopy. I think you're fucking loopy. They're gonna think you're fucking loopy, and this thing is already pretty tenuous as it is.
Well, they can think what they want. I know what I heard. You don't have to believe me. I don't really
I
give
know
a
what
damn.
you wanted to hear.
You spend your days blowing smoke up Buchanan's ass. This is all I'm talking to you about it, and I'm just gonna walk away.
Well, at least now it's my ex-wife that's aggravating me more than the fucking boss. I'll walk back over to where you are. Way's got something, maybe. I don't know.
Go on.
I look at Bay.
Before the crazy lady and her goon showed up back at where we were staying, when I was up in the Radio Shack, I was taking in the messages. You know how Clyde usually does, writes down what comes in, things like that. That's what I was doing. He was on his lunch break, and there was a mention of a place, that we could possibly go. And it's the only
Okay.
thing that we maybe might have a shot with, knowing the places around here are full or whatever. It's going to be a bit of a trek. If they're right, then they're offering safety and security.
What was the message? What was
It
it just
came
like, come here, or?
It was a message that came through, sounded similar to like how an emergency broadcast would be, and it was a message that said, perdition, part of the new Commonwealth, safety and security available, help rebuild what was lost, that sort of thing.
Look, it's a shot in the dark, but right now, what else do we got? And at least we're heading north. If ever it turns out to be nothing, then maybe we fucking move up and see if Canada still got Tim Hortons open.
Okay. Sam, thoughts?
I mean, at least we have a plan. Some kind of plan. How do we find this place? We have no comms. We have no directions, do we? Faye? Do we have directions?
Not necessarily directions, but like a general area. Maybe we can pick up a radio or a CB or something along the way that we could, try to pull in the message. I know the wavelengths and the frequencies from being in the Radio Shack fairly regularly to catch messages. So maybe we could find something and I can catch it again.
A lot of maybes, but it's kind of the only thing we have, yeah?
And if this is a real thing, someone out there is going to know something. So the closer we get, the more likely we are to find someone who's going to know.
Right.
Have we got enough fuel to get as far as that, or at least halfway?
Not as far as that. No, we're going to have to stop for supplies along the way, but I mean, it's a means to an end, right?
It's something. It's better than just driving around in the fucking dark, that's for sure.
We'll get another, I don't know, 80 miles on 10 gallons of gas with this climate change fucking debacle of a truck, but it'll get us closer.
Okay.
And Buchanan, you knew this place was a supply drop. Is there anywhere else on the map where you could mark like other known supply drops that maybe we could chart them along our route headed that direction? We could stop and see if they had things at those places, right?
Yeah, I'll look at McCready sort of like after our little discussion earlier, sort of, and then. But GM, do I know of any places
You
like that along the
know,
way?
the next place you know of for supplies would be Green Rock, right?
Green-
Past that, after Green Rock, you're just as much in the dark as they would be.
Okay, so I'll point at the map and go, Green Rock is the last place I know of, but that doesn't mean we can't figure something out after that.
Green Rock?
Maybe.
Or Greenhaven, I mean.
Greenhaven.
Greenhaven, sorry.
How far away is that? Do we know?
About 100 miles.
We can get close. We'll have to find more fuel or hoof it from there. But
Well, you
we can
have
get
about
close.
20 gallons here.
We're looking at about
Oh,
500
gotcha.
miles to get around 500 miles to get into like the Northern Virginia area. So we're gonna need gas at some point.
Well, what we
Agreed.
have will get us to Greenhaven, right?
Greenhaven sounds good.
Maybe they'll let me in their radio tower when we get there. If they have one, maybe they'll let me in and I could
Okay, well, we have
You
to
know.
look at what we have and what we can spare and what we're willing to trade for gas, because we can't just show up there fucking desperate for gas because they're going to take everything we have.
Buchanan, do you know anybody at Greenhaven?
You
I've probably
know,
got one or
yeah, you know a couple of folks, right?
Yeah.
Whether or not they're still in power is a different story.
Yeah.
Because they are, for lack of a better term, a true communist commune, which is part of the reason why you and McCready didn't necessarily want to stay there. Not because you're opposed to communism, but part of joining their commune was you would have to give up all of your possessions that you had already garnered at that point.
Right. Yeah. So I mean, it's a risky gambit, but it could pay off.
I mean, I'm willing to teach them one of my recipes for things if they'll
Well-
take that in trade, right?
I mean, Sam, you could probably help them if you've got any,
Yes,
injuries or
of
wounded,
course.
or if there's anything like
course.
that.
We have things to offer them. Is it going to be safe for? Kind of looks over her shoulder at the rest of the group. Is it a good place?
We're going to find out when
remains
we
to be
get
seen.
there.
Yeah, that remains to be seen, but at least it's a stopgap to where we need to go. So if we can maybe stay a day or two, or just get enough supplies to move on a day at least, maybe, then it's something.
If we find gas along the way, we may not even need to stop. I mean, you're looking at 7,
Exactly.
8, 9, 10 hour drive maybe to get to wherever we're going.
How much food do we have? How much fresh water do we have?
Plenty around here. I think there's enough. We should be able to stock up pretty decently well. But we do need to light a fire and get things moving, because these lights on the outside, if they were able to draw us and anybody who's been following, like, they're gonna see these lights as well. It clicked on the open sign outside, so that's
Agreed.
definitely gonna get attention.
Yeah, these
Now-
lights, too bad they got fucking opened.
Yeah, well, just fucking can it. We got some good stuff. We got some gear. Just we'll talk about this later.
Everybody relax.
But-
Let's gather the group together. Let's get what we can into the truck if it's not already there. She looks back and she can see Dale and some of the other able-bodied people loading the truck. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Let's get what we can and go, because it's the best opportunity we have to survive what's behind us, let alone what we're going to be going into, because we don't know, right? We don't know what we're going to come across.
Gotta stay
And I'm
ahead.
not saying perdition is maybe that's an old message that's stuck on loop, but it's the best shot of what we have, of what we know.
But if
It's
it
a
is an
risky
old
maneuver.
but if it is an old message stuck on loop, at a minimum, it means that that place has power.
And you know,
Right.
it's called Perdition, so really how bad could it be?
Yeah, at least it's not called Terminus.
True. And what do we do about this place? Do we torch it? Do we leave it? What do we do?
No. Leave it. Somebody else might be able to get something out of it. Fucking walkers ain't gonna make a difference.
So we
All
don't
right,
take
everyone.
everything. We take
Let's
as
load
much as
up.
we can.
Yeah,
Much as we
take
can.
everything we can. Prioritize
Okay.
first aid stuff.
Food,
water.
supplies, water. Yeah.
All right. As you load up your supplies, I've been keeping a count, so I will provide you guys a full write up for that one between this session and the next one of
Awesome.
what you guys have access to and what you guys were able to scavenge from that particular place. You load up into the van, and in the wee hours of the morning, you load up the van, top off its fuel tank, and open the gate or the garage
door.
door. Thank you. And the van pulls out onto the road and speeds down the highway towards Greenhaven. And as it does, we pan back from it. The open sign flickering. We pull back and we see the moonlit silhouette of a woman watching the van drive down the freeway. And that's where we're going to end for today.
Okay.
Oh boy.
So for that, friends, that is where we will round out for today's session.
Nicely done.
That is a solid stopping point for this particular session.
And we're still alive.
And you
We're
are
still
all
alive,
you
yeah.
are all still alive.
Yeah.
Yes,
Going great.
If scarred, yeah, exactly. It's going great.
It's
Great.
It's going
This is
great.
fine.
This is fine. It's going wonderfully. But yes, no. I want to first of all thank everybody who played today. This group is amazing, and they're telling great and wonderful and deep and meaning stories. We started off hitting the road running real hard. So the next session probably won't be quite as I don't know, ripping your heart and then running it through a meat grinder. But
I don't believe you.
Promises,
don't
Kurt.
believe you.
Promises,
Promises.
promises.
You never know. Okay, you never know. But I want to thank everybody who joined us today, everybody who donated. I have been keeping track. They have 2 loaded guns. They have a medical supply. They got their initial supply drop, which I have been on the side rolling it up, which will add to their thing. Between sessions, we will get that figured out for what all that they have. Again, thank you everybody who joined us today. We will go around the horn one more time, let everybody find out who they are, where we can find them, and I will very much hand it back over to my brain is not working, Dave, where he will rate us into somebody.
Yep.
I have
I
no
also
doubt.
want to before we do the outro stuff. Yeah, I just want to again thank folks who have donated. We are going to give some stuff away. So at this point, we do have a couple of giveaways. I'm going to put some information in the chat. We are giving away a digital asset from CZRPG. And basically what that is it's going to be a coupon for you to be able to choose which of their products you would like to download off of DriveThruRPG. We are going to also be giving away 2 minis from Hero Forge. One of them is what's called a stand-in. It's acrylic, double-sided printed rendition of your custom Hero Forge mini. They're super slick. They look beautiful. Great gift. Or perhaps you just want to add to your collection of minis. And we're going to also be giving away Hero Forge printed 3D plastic mini as well, with shipping included, my friends.
Ooh.
So you have still opportunities to get in on the giveaway. We're going to do that right after we do our outros. $5 donation will get you a ticket to win. And not only today, because we're giving away both session giveaways. So at the end of each session, we'll be giving things away. But we're also going to have a grand prize giveaway that is going to happen at the very end of this fundraising event. That is on the 12th of November. And we're going to be giving away things like, I don't know, a year subscription to World Anvil, some gift cards to Phoenix Dice. There's a $50 gift card, two $25 gift cards. We've got a custom hand-painted mini from our good friend Darlene Creepshow that we're going to be giving away. Hard copies of the Nuavarden core rule set, hard copy of the Dragonbane core rule set, a brass mini from Hero Forge, an Idle Champions bundle. I don't know what that is, but it sounds awesome. And a Troll Lords game bundle as well. So we've got a lot of great giveaways. Thank you to all those sponsors who have been part of this amazing fundraiser so far. Those are all of the things that you could be entered to win for $5. And you're helping kids. So
Which is all the
help
reward you
kids.
need.
it really is. But we've also added a bunch because we have such generous sponsors and just this community is so fantastic. So there we go. Let's do some outros.
All right. We will. I suppose I will go first. I am Kurt. I am a TTRPG writer and game developer. I have recently put out a
Genius.
publication called Ragnaborg, which you can find over on shop.talonandclaw.com. Grab it. It's great. It's a Mort Borg. It's a Mort Borg hack with everything you need. You don't actually need the core rulebook of Mort Borg in order to play it. You just need this zine and the character sheet, which is free on the website. To play it, it is a Ragnarok meets Mort Borg time setting. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of it's really fast, and we've already been approved for the second book, so that will be coming out later.
Congratulations!
Next year.
That's
Yes.
fantastic.
Yeah, awesome.
And I have been your GM
Amazing
for this freaking The Dead Shall Walk game. And I fully expect that next time I will probably make more people cry. There's no doubt about that because I am good at that, apparently. That's enough out of me. You can also catch me on Wednesdays over on Blue Box RPG, where I am one of the hosts for Lore Masters Arcanum, where we talk about all the things from D&D, past, present, and future, tools for new DMs and old DMs alike, for you to utilize in your role-playing game sessions. And next we will go to Huli.
Well, hi friends. I've been Dr. Ve Victus today. My name is Huli. I play games, run games, and produce games over at Heroes and Hooligans, and I'm also the production coordinator for Queen's Court Games. You should check them out. They've got some really good stuff going on over there. Vampire the Masquerade podcast that is multi-award winning podcast. So if you're into that kind of stuff, check them out. And we'll see. I'll be back here next week. Thanks for hanging out.
Outstanding. Shiv.
Hello, I'm Shiv. You can find me over at IO Shiv, and I have played the Disco Express himself, Daniel Buchanan, the slippery individual who somehow does some dodgy deals. And yes, it's been fantastic to play with these players, to play with this GM. What a game. And it's only going to get worse. It's only going to get darker. It's only going to get more tense. I can't wait for more.
You forgot your most important moniker there. The bearded bastard.
the
The bearded bastard of the British Isles.
Oh, there you go. I'll take that as well. Yeah, I'll put that one. Yeah, I have to remember that one for next time. Thank you, Kurt.
There you go. No problem. Blake.
Hey, Bleak Season, the Bleak Season on most socials. You can find me right here next Saturday doing Walking Dead, but also on Thursday, where I'll be doing a one-shot Dragonbane with a great group of people, again, for the fundraiser, and next Saturday night, where I'll be doing a one-shot Blade Runner with a bunch of great people, again, for the fundraiser. I did want to take this opportunity also to tell you, if you got some time this evening, to check out my friend Allison is running her own fundraiser for Extra Life and the Luris Children's Hospital tonight, playing a Battlestar Galactica board game on her channel, and that's at twitch.tv/Insight Checked. I will put that in the chat later on, so if you're not doing anything later, pop in, say hi. And we also playing some Nuavarden here tonight, again, raising funds for Games for Love. So a lot of fundraising going on. It's a great time of year for that. Everyone doing their bit. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the fundraising that all the people that have donated. You're all awesome. Thanks so much. Thanks, Kurt. As always, you're fucking killer, mate.
And thank you. And last but certainly not least, our hostess with the mostest, the man, the myth, the legend, the DM Dave, who has decided to let us put all of this heartbreak and turmoil on his channel, all in the name of a good cause.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love this group. Love this game. Love the setting. I've always been a huge Walking Dead fan. I think my love affair with walkers, dare I say zombies, comes from my early love of Michael Jackson's Thriller music video. That really really got it going for me. Anyways, thank you so much, Kurt. You are a fantastic game master. Really immersive storytelling from the entire group, and your leadership on this has been fantastic. So thank you for that. Really important things that I want to mention to folks is that we have a freaking fantastic lineup of games for Love that are happening right now and throughout the next week. So I've got the schedule up here. We, again, are going to be running our Nuvarden one-shot with Dungeon Mr. Ty, Candace the Magnificent, Kay Dampier, and Alex from Initiative Order, myself, raising funds tonight for this amazing charity. On Monday or on Sunday, we'll be back over on Phoenix Iwaki's channel. Please give them some love. Tomb of Annihilation, Monday, Gastromancy. Then we'll be here on Tuesday the 7th with Heroes of Greyhawk, and then running into the rest of the week with Out of the Abyss, Dragonbane, One Shot Roulette, Candlekeep Mysteries, Delver and Below. We'll be back here next Saturday with The Walking Dead Part 2, and then a Blade Runner game. And then my good friend Shiv over here, looking all suave and bearded and bastardy, will be running a Seeds of Destruction one-shot on November 12th to wrap up this fundraiser, and then all the grand prizes will be doled out to the winners. We will be drawing winners over on Phoenix Iwaki's channel in the evening on the 12th. So you're going to want to come on back for that, and you're going to want to come on back for our Nuvarden one-shot, which is happening tonight, 7:00 p.m. Central Time. Great cast, great seer, or game master, as they call it in Nuvarden, and an exciting story, all for a great cause. So thank you so much for being part of that, everybody. We really appreciate it. Now, we have some things to give away. So if you wouldn't mind, Shiv, could you please roll a D20 for me?
Oh, okay. I will indeed.
We have in our loot bag here to give away today, we have a CZRPG digital asset. We've got a Hero Forge standee and a Hero Forge 3D printed mini, plastic mini. So,
Okay.
my friend, what did you get?
I
Shiv?
rolled an 18. An 18.
An
on the
18.
D20.
So that is Jose Ortiz. Jej,
Oh,
you have just won one of the giveaways here. So I don't know if you're still in the chat, but you are a winner. Let us know if you are here. Let's go to the next one. Huli, if you'd roll a D20 for me. And Bleak, I'll have you roll the third, please. And then we're going to raid into our friends at Live from the Apocalypse. So make sure you stick around for that.
I've got a 15, boss.
A 15. So Kentucky Fried Creature, you, if you're still here, have won a giveaway. You will also have your opportunity to choose what you would like if you can hit us up soon. And Bleak, what did you get?
On a D20, I got a 17.
Okay, that is also Jose. So Jose has won 2 of the giveaway items, and Kentucky Fried Creature has won 1. If they're not in the chat, they might have moved on. I think Creature had to go take care of some other stuff, but I will reach out to them. We'll get them their loot, and really excited. Thank you all for donating. Thank you all. We are over 1,000. We're at $1,020.
Oh, nice.
We're looking good. We're a quarter of the way there. We've got some work to do, but we're on the right track. Thank you so much. And big shout out to Techie Woman's Ghost, who has been moderating the chat and helping us keep track of all this chaos that's been happening in the background. We really appreciate you. Thank you all for being here. Let's go ahead and start this raid. Please join us in giving Live from the Apocalypse some good old-fashioned Guild Superior love. And don't forget to mention to your friends, your family, your network, this Gaming for Love fundraiser, because it is really important and the kids need us. So we'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much. Kurt, fucking awesome, bro.